This week, I spend 16 hours on Air India, visit the most lavish airport lounge I've ever set foot in, and contract food poisoning as I fly halfway around the world on board India's longest flight. Welcome to Bangalore Airport in India, home to this amazing piece of architecture, this amazing airport terminal for a start, but it's also home to India's longest flight. And that's what I'm doing today. My flight today is over 8,500 miles long and 16 hours. And one more thing as well, it's all on Air India. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
So you got any invitation with you?
This is what they give me in Singapore, so I didn't get anything else.
Can you give me a minute to just check with the airline?
Yes, of course. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, please
This way. All right, thank you. Well, this lounge is incredible. There's this bit here. There's so many different sections. You've got like a Bollywood section here, which is like a movie kind of cafe type thing. Then you've got this section here. This is the Nicobar section, like the Andaman Islands, a bit tropical, sort of lush paradise. There's a Wolfgang Puck over there that's all part of the same sort of lounge as well. Isn't this incredible? Wow. This section here, look at this. Lantana. What I'm looking for is the loo. I can't find it. Hi there, how you doing? Good, thank you. Can I just get a Diet Coke, please? Diet Coke?
Diet
Coke, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You see, I have to be honest, the last time I flew on Air India, well, it wasn't that great, really. The planes were filthy, flights were delayed, service wasn't that brilliant, but this was a few years ago, and I've heard Air India have made some big improvements since then. Who knows? We're going to find out today. This lounge is just epic, though. What? And there's nobody here either. There's not many international flights going yet from Bangalore, so because of that, then there's not that many people up here. So anyway, we're off to San Francisco today with Air India on their 777. How bad's it going to be? Well, we'll figure it out. But first impressions, if the ground experience is anything to go by, well, this isn't bad, is it? All right, then time to go and get on the flight, the long flight to San Francisco. Let's go.
वाटर बोतल ओनली 100 ml मोबाइल फोन चार्जर वॉच वॉलेट.
One thing that doesn't get any easier with a nice shiny new airport though is airport security, which in India is an absolute bloody nightmare every time. Everything out of your bag, literally the contents of your bag have to be emptied. So if you've got a lot of stuff in your bag like I have, well then everything has to come out really. But anyway, I'm at the gate and here is my plane. This is Air India's 777-200 LR, the longest range 777 that there is, and it's going to take us today on an 8,600 mile journey all the way from India across somehow to San Francisco, California. Looking forward to it. It's my ride home. It's going to be a nice flight, 16 hours. Let's do this. There's quite a lot of aviation activity at Bangalore Airport, and it was pretty cool to see Air India's brand new A350 taxiing in. I do think this plane looks really nice, and I'm hoping to take a flight on it pretty soon. But for now, it was time to get on board today's ride, this 15-year-old Boeing 777-200 LR. Hi. Thank you. Thank you. Right then, here goes Air India, 16 hours. Let's do this. Hello. How are you? Thank you. Thank you. Hi there, how are you?
On board, sir.
Thank you, hello. Alright, thank you. Wonderful, thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks. Alright, then you can kind of colour me impressed by this because this is pretty decent. This is a former Delta Airlines 777. Air India have got a few of them in their fleet and they're using them. It's the old LRs that Delta used to have. And Air India use them on certain routes across America. They use them from Mumbai to San Francisco and also from Bangalore to San Francisco as well as some other routes as well. And it's got the old Delta One suite on it as well, so this is what Delta Airlines used to use, but now of course all branded up Air India. And this is really nice. We've got storage up here, power outlets here. We've got two power outlets. I've never seen a plane with two power outlets, plus headphone sockets and everything. We've got controls here for the lighting. We've got the seat, which has been reupholstered into Air India's upholstery. Well, that's what I mean when I say they've rebranded it all. And then we've got sort of a closing doory thing there, which is going to be quite nice later as well. Loads of leg room, big TV screen here up the front. Just this is really nice actually. This is actually really nice. Quite impressed, to be honest. See how impressed I am after 16 hours of sitting in here. But hey, 1A baby, the wanker seat. Let's go. It would seem some things don't change, because one thing we're not going to be today is on time. We're about 15 minutes after when we should have pushed back from the gate, but they're still loading passengers on and bags and all sorts of stuff. So hey, we can't win on every front, can we? Before too long, we were pushing back from the gate to get on the way for our mammoth flight halfway round the world back to the US. Our route today then took us northeast towards Calcutta before crossing Bangladesh, Burma and China. After that we flew the length of Japan and out across the Pacific Ocean, coasting in over Northern California before descending down into San Francisco. Flight time today was 16 hours and 5 minutes, cruising at 31, 35 and 39,000 feet. Alright then, here we go, climbing out of Bangalore on India's longest flight. 16 hours 20 minutes they reckon today, as we go all the way across to San Francisco. Long lumbering takeoff there out of Bangalore as well. I love it when you take off on a really long flight like this and you end up using most of the runway to lift off and then climb so gradually as you get out, because it just makes you realise what epic journey you're about to embark on. And yeah, here we go. Not long after takeoff, we flew over a rather humorous sounding place that fed right into my mind of a 5-year-old. So, game plan for this flight then. Here is what I'm intending to do to pass by these 16 hours. Dinner first, maybe with a glass of wine, help me sleep, because I'm going to intend then to sleep. Once I've had my dinner, I'm imagining probably a couple of hours to get dinner service done and dusted and out the way. Then I'm going to probably just chill, watch a bit of TV and fall asleep. Hopefully get a good few hours sleep. I've not slept now in like 2 days. I've been trying to stay awake so that I can sleep on this flight. Or when I say trying to stay awake, I've been dozing and napping in like 2 or 3 hours at a time. I'm hoping to get a decent night's sleep, because what I want to do when I get back into Texas, whenever this flight lands, is to sort of hit the ground running on local time, because I've only got then about 5 days at home before I'm off on another trip. So I sort of want to get into the swing of being in home time. So maybe 8 hours sleep or so. Wake up, do a bit of work. Maybe I've got my laptop. There's no Wi-Fi, unfortunately, which is a bit of an issue. So I'm just going to have to work locally offline. And yeah, just see what happens after that. Maybe a bit more food, maybe another movie or something. I don't know. We've got 16 hours to enjoy this flight. So here's something I didn't get before on Air India last time I flew on them. Amenity kit and a sleep suit. And this is the amenity kit that you get on Air India now. That looks pretty nice. We'll go through that in a little while. And then you get your PJs as well. And they're all To Me branded, which is a brand I've heard of before. I think they do suitcases and stuff, don't they? But yeah, To Me branded amenity kit and To Me branded PJs. So yeah, we'll get those on in a bit after dinner. They've just took me order for dinner. I've gone for the chicken curry, good old predictable chicken curry. And yeah, getting settled into the ride. Now, I'm always getting asked very similar questions whenever I do videos flying around the world making this content for YouTube. And the biggest question I get asked is, who do I use for my mobile roaming data while I'm traveling abroad? Because it can be super duper expensive to be connecting to networks all around the world. In some of the random countries I get to as well, it can be quite an issue. Now, I'm quite lucky. My mobile plan that I have does include some roaming data, but it only includes a little bit of roaming data. For a start, you only get a certain amount of data, so you can't use your phone like you would normally here in the US. But in addition to that, it only works in a handful of countries, and most of the places I go, well, there's no roaming data available with the plan that I have. That is where Airalo comes in. You see, I've been using Airalo for quite some time now, and it's basically an app that you install on your phone, and it installs an eSIM on your device. And what that does is mean that when you go to any country around the world, you can connect to a local mobile data network over there and have access to the internet straight away. It's a lot like when you used to go and buy a SIM card when you travelled abroad and lined up and picked up your SIM card and put it in your phone and hoped it would connect, except you can do it all before you go. It costs a fraction of the price and it's just installed on your phone, so you can still keep your existing SIM for your phone calls and things like that. Airalo is super easy to use as well. You just install the app on your phone. I'll pop a link up here on a QR code for you to click on and download it to your device, sign up, and then you can buy eSIMs for any country around the world that they've got listed there within the app. It's really easy. Once you've done that, you just install the eSIM on your phone, and then as soon as you step off the plane, wherever you go, you're connected to the internet straight away, ready to go. I particularly like Airalo for travelling to countries across Africa, because Africa, for a start, roaming data plans from other countries don't tend to work in a lot of those countries, and even if they do, you end up with like GPRS data that's basically unusable to do anything except send text messages with. So Airalo's really good for those countries, because you can just go and you can connect straight to the high-speed networks that they've got. A lot of the time over there, I'll get 4G instead, maybe even 5G in some of the big cities as well, and it just makes it so much easier having that eSIM on there. At the moment, Airalo are giving you $3 off when you use my promo code. You could scan the QR code up here, you could click on the link down there, or you could just type the link directly in your browser if that's what you'd rather do. But if you use my promo code, you'll get $3 off when you set up Airalo, which is a good deal in itself. Alright, so let's have a little look through this amenity kit then, see what we get in the Air India amenity kit. It's quite nice, isn't it? Unzip it, and that's what you get inside. Very nice. So what do we get? We get a Takeoff card. Takeoff. We get quite a nice eye mask actually. That's different, but it's nice. We get a pair of socks, various unbranded lotions, a sustainable dental kit, a 3M sticker of some description. What is that for? I don't know. And a pen. An unbranded pen, but a pen nonetheless. It says not for resale. Well, I haven't bought it anyway, but anyway. But there you go. There's the To Me Air India amenity kit. Not a bad one actually. Where's my dinner? So they actually serve Dom Perignon champagne now on Air India. Nice. That's really nice. And there's these chips as well, these potato chips that they're serving. And I can't explain to you just how tasty these are. These are lovely. I don't know what flavour they are. Slightly spiced, I would say, but they're nice though. It makes a change from chomping on nuts as you climb out. Anyway, all right then, it is at dinner time, and I've gone for the Makmali Meti Merg, succulent dices of chicken and a creamy, fresh fenugreek flavoured curry, served with carom seed pilau, spice tempered carrots and green peas, lentil dumplings and cumin yogurt rater. Lovely jubbly. Let's have a go at this. Ruby Murray. That's not too bad actually. That's quite nice. Ooh, that's pretty spicy. And we've got a chapati as well. Nice. Once again, no naan breads. Don't do naans in India. And chapatis are nice though. That's really nice.
It's time for the Noel Phillips Lou Review.
Alright then, time for the Lou review on the Air India 777, and actually, you know what, this isn't bad. Pretty clean. We're about 4 hours into the flight now. About 12 hours left to run, and yeah, this is still quite nice. This is one of the 2 toilets, by the way, at the front of the plane. Literally, the flight deck is just there, and there's one either side of the little corridor that goes into the flight deck. We've got a sink that's quite clean. We've got tissues. We've got a toilet there. Obviously, no putting stuff down the toilet. We've got a baby changing mat, and that's pretty much it. Really, we do have, though, my lovely pyjamas that I'm going to try on. So I'm going to try and get changed, and we'll see what they're like as well. Ta-da! There we go. Not too bad actually. Quite comfy. Not too tight either. I've actually got a size that fits me that's quite nice. I don't normally do sizes for 6'5" tall people, and it's actually quite nice. So yeah, I'm going to get back to my seat and try and get a little bit of sleep now.
That was the Noel Phillips Lou Review.
Alright, so the best thing about the old Delta One suites on the Air India 777 apparently is the door of the suite, which slides across, there we go, and gives us apparently privacy. But you know what, I've never really seen the gimmick in these sliding closing doors, because look, it's not, although it's slid across there, well, that's the view from on top, so you can still see over and in. It's just, I guess it gives you the illusion of being private. But anyway, I've shut my door, I've got my pyjamas on, and I've got a nice Air India blanket set that they've given us, and you get a liner. You get a liner as well, which is this thing here, which is quite nice. So I'm going to try and put the bed down, and we're going to see what it's like. Oh, I've got a whiskey as well, which is nice. So let's put the bed down. You see what I mean? You can see right over the top. Right, well there we go. Well, that's not too bad, really. I mean, we're touching at both ends, but it's still quite spacious side to side as well. And of course, with the pyjamas, it's easier and more comfy to sleep in as well. So that's me set up for the night, I think. Pretty comfy. I'll let you know how much sleep I get in the morning, because right now we've got, how long until we land? 13 hours, 26 minutes till we land. So yeah, I'm going to try and get some sleep on this quite comfy bed actually, and I will see you in the morning. Good night. After a few hours sleep, I woke up as the sun was starting to rise over the Pacific Ocean. Well, good morning. I've just woken up. I've slept for about 6.5 hours. We've got about 7 hours left to run. We're over the Pacific Ocean now, off the coast of Japan, and we've only got 7 hours. I think in total it was 16. So yeah, we're battling on through the flight, more than halfway through now. I slept pretty well actually. The bed's fairly comfy, which was quite nice. We've got about 7 hours left, so I might start sort of waking up a bit, maybe try and get a bit of work done. Alright then, all up and awake. I've had a little bit of breakfast. I came around with some spicy noodles. Unfortunately I didn't film it because my phone had dropped down the side of my seat and I couldn't find it, but I've eaten my spicy noodles. Now it's time to get on with some work. We don't have any Wi-Fi, but I'm just going to try and get a bit of editing done locally. I've got all my sort of music and everything to edit it with, all sort of downloaded anyway before I came out. So yeah, let's get some editing done. As I got on with my editing, the crew came around with some chicken tikka snacks from a tray. They were pretty tasty but served at room temperature, and as I'd find out the following day, eating these was probably a bit of a mistake. But still, for now at least, things were going great on Air India. So here's the thing, you see. The last time I flew on Air India was 2 years ago now, and well, it wasn't that great, really. The aircraft I was on, it was an old 787, it was beaten up, it was tired, it was filthy on board. The cabin crew were really not very nice at all. The service was bad, the flight was delayed. Literally everything that could go wrong did go wrong with that flight. And that's kind of been the image I've had in my head of Air India since then. But over the last couple of years, Air India announced that they were starting a program of improvements, and I have to be honest, when they first announced that I was a bit skeptical because we've all heard of these improvements things before. But you know what? Flying Air India today versus flying Air India 2 years ago is like a different airline. It's just incredible, honestly, the difference that they've made. The service is fantastic, the aircraft are nice. This is the second flight I've actually done with Air India on this trip. I was on an A320 yesterday to connect into this one, which I didn't film because I was just sleeping. But again, clean, friendly crew, nice service, on time, just amazing all the way through. And honestly, I am beyond impressed. I think it's amazing what they've done. Air India are in the process of renewing their fleet as well. They've got a few A350s that have been delivered already. They've got a load more coming, so they're going to be flying those A350s over to America and Europe and other long-haul destinations like that as well, which again, absolutely fantastic to see. Yeah, there is a bit of an elephant in the room at the minute because they still do have some of the older aircraft as well. This isn't representative of what you will get on every flight with Air India from the US, for example, but if you fly from San Francisco, they generally at the moment put these aircraft on it. If you fly from Chicago, for example, you might be on an old Dreamliner. If you fly from New York, you might be on an older 777 in a 222 config, which clearly isn't as nice as flying on something like this. But that being said, if this is an indication of where they're going, well, I think it's incredible, really. I really do, and I am chuffed to bits to see Air India has made such big improvements since the last time I flew with them. It's just amazing to see. And that's the most frustrating thing about this video for me. I genuinely loved every aspect of my Air India trip this time. I really felt they'd turned things around, and for the most part, well, they had. Well, at least until I got home. And then we have just started our descent down into San Francisco, California. I can see the California coastline just coming to view out of the window. We're nearly there, baby. We're nearly there. And as we started our descent down into San Francisco, I sat glued to the window watching the scenery go by outside. My flight with Air India cost me $3,208 or roughly 120,000 Mauritanian Uyghurs. As always, taking Air India seems to be a more expensive option than taking a flight with any other airline, but I thought it was worth it to see what they were like these days on this really long flight across to San Francisco. And don't forget you can book me for a Cameo video message too now, just use the link on the screen. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye. Alright, well, it's now the day after I flew with Air India. I landed sort of last night. It's now the following day. The only thing I've eaten in the last sort of 24 hours was what I ate on Air India, and now I've got the worst case of food poisoning I've ever had in my life. So I hate to say this because I really didn't want to have any issues with this at all, with how good they were, but something that I ate on that flight was not good. I'm wondering, they did come around with the snack service, it was like chicken tikka, like chunks of chicken and stuff like that. I'm wondering if it's that. But literally, I've been ill all day today. And yeah, I've got no energy whatsoever. And the only thing I can think is it has to be something, because that's the only food I've eaten in the last sort of 30 hours has been what I've had on Air India. So yeah, that's not how I wanted to end this, really. So there we go then, Air India, and I'm a little bit frustrated because I really wanted to make a positive video about Air India this time. Last time I flew on them, they were pretty crap, let's be honest. They weren't a good airline a few years back. But seriously, in the 2 years since I flew on them last time, it's like a different airline. They are really, really good. And I really enjoyed my flight on them, apart from the food poisoning, which is a bit of an issue, really. Well, would I recommend flying on Air India? Well, yes, I think they've made a massive improvement since before, absolutely. And if you get the right planes, really, really good. But just don't forget to pack the Imodium. Thanks so much for watching. As always, take care, be kind to one another, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.